hike through mountainous terrain, well, Jonathan, I would choose to fly any day.
Absolutely, flying sounds much better. Now let's look as the Helio comes by for its high-speed pass. Notice the control surfaces on the wing.
An amazing man named Thom Richard. He is flying this plane that is also known as the pilot maker, and we're glad to have him open up today's show with a maneuver called the avalanche once he takes off. But here he is, to your left, taking off. You've probably seen this plane flying over the but you can also take a ride in this plane should you desire. One of the neat things about Thom is that he's not just a pilot, but he's also the chief instructor.
2 taxis down is Thom Richard in the T6 Texan. Now as Thom reaches the top of this loop, he is going to do what's called a snap roll. See how fast that is? That's not a normal roll on top. That is what we call a snap roll. And he comes back down, right side up.
17,000 built, and about 350 of them still fly today, but they are all in private hands.
We do like to let the sound of that engine go by in front of the crowd before he talks, because we're letting you listen to 1940s, 1930s engine, and it's just incredible that these aircraft are still flying, and they are all in civilian hands, and so many of them bring them to air shows. We'll have a team of 4 coming up later called the Smoking Texans. These are private operators. These are not owned by the military anymore. We call them Warbirds. They are decommissioned military aircraft, hence the name Warbird.
And this is not the only Warbird that Thom will be flying today. He is an accomplished pilot with ratings in many different airplanes. This is just one of many you can see at Warbird Adventures, which is located at what he calls the American Dream Sky Ranch. In addition to T6 training,
largest T6 flight schools in the world. It's actually the world's biggest,
I think it is.
What we know. And that again is Warbird Adventures. And you can look them up online at warbird-adventures.com, especially if you want to go down and take a flight. Host Joe. He's there open all year round. That's one of the reasons why he chose the site in 96, South Carolina, was to be able to fly year round.
Now I know that you might notice that Thom flies that plane very low to the ground, and that is because he is certified with a ground surface waiver.
Aerobatic card. It's called a surface card.
It's called a SAC card, and it's surface aerobatic card. It allows him to fly very low to the ground, which you just witnessed.
Okay, so those of you out there taking photos, who can tell what time? And here's another chance to get a picture of the T6 Texan, flown by our own Thom Richard. Now, Teresa, a lot of the maneuvers that Thom and all the other Warbird pilots today will be flying are...
Yes, this would have been the last plane you would have flown before they sent you overseas to potentially fly a plane very different from the one you flew. That's one of the amazing things about these veteran pilots from World War II. They were 19, 20 years old. They were learning to fly in a plane like this.
What a day this has been. What a rain. Why it's almost like being in
now, as most of you noticed, the wheels actually went up under the wing, the front two.
Particular title, they were called Wasps. They had been asked to come and serve in this way, and many of them were just as good of a pilot as the male pilots that were actually fighting in the war. And here comes Thom, really low to the ground, right here from the left.
So the CAF also has a program dedicated to the women air service pilots. again, labeled Wasp. And this is
camera's
ready. Yep. Here's your Kodak moment. Those of you who are older will understand that. Such a beautiful airplane and such a beautiful sound on that beautiful T6. And you know, a lot of the guys who are learning these now train in the type of aircraft that Thom has at the American Dream Sky Ranch, and that includes a Citabria and a decathlon. And a decathlon is what you will see Mr. Greg Kutz flying later today. They are tailwheel aircraft. Learn in those older engines. Now Thom is on his down slope here to come into land, and you see that the gear has been extended. You have the two front wheels out, and he has made a successful return to the Monroe Executive Airport. What an exciting time to be at this air show, to see all of these aircraft flying. And we have a really special one coming up next. But just a reminder, as Thom taxis by, that engine is loud. He may not be able to hear you, but he can see you waving your hands all the way across. So wave your hands. Let Thom know how much you appreciated his flight today. He's done a wonderful job, and you'll see him back in a P-40 later in the show because he is a multi-talented pilot. And Teresa's going to tell you a little bit more about all the things he flies later on, because it's not just with the airplanes with two wings that he flies. So here he comes by. As he comes down the show line on the taxiway, give him a huge wave. He's waving now because by the way, he's controlling everything with the rudder pedals with his feet, so he can reach up and wave to you. Give him a wave, give him a shout out. It's Thom Richard from American Dream Sky Ranch.